Sarah Mack here from withsarahmack.com, and I have a very juicy topic, as always, to share with you today around the mindset of consistent money and consistent energy. And, obviously energy management is something that is like a huge part of my work. Most of you by now will know my story that I built my business like in the middle of a terrible, awful burnout where I had no energy. And that really dictated, my choices and my strategy in business. And as I was growing my business, I was, learning how to take care of myself, how to take care of my body, and how to manage my energy. So it's really been an integral piece of my business strategy. And, obviously I went on to learn that it was complex PTSD from sexual trauma that was like a big contributing factor to my burnout. And I know this is very common, right? It's very common among women, among creatives, among clients. And I know, I'm constantly learning so many just valuable insights as I continue to, learn to master and manage my energy despite health challenges as I continue to grow my business. So a lesson that's been really deepening for me at the moment has come up around managing long COVID symptoms. So this was like a new spanner in the works for me this year, discovering that after I had COVID last year, and then I got sick again earlier this year, and then I just never fully recovered. I didn't test positive for COVID, but the symptoms were very similar to what I've experienced before with fatigue, a few slightly different things. I'm not it's not obviously destroyed my life. I know that it has for some people. There is obviously a spectrum in long COVID symptoms, but I know that, it's common. A lot of people are dealing with this. And I'm not going to go into the specific ins and outs of how I'm managing and recovering from long COVID. I want to share the mindset lesson that, has been something that I have known and I'm getting to apply again, and to really, prove how mindset has the capacity to create transformation in any situation. And obviously the main lessons for me have been in health, and they've been in money. So I want to share just another example to add to the mix of how we get to create exactly what we want, and how we get to continue to hold the vision, and how the mindset is the thing that opens us up to solutions and to magical miracles to move through things and to create things actually quite rapidly. Whether that comes to turning around a money situation and signing more clients, and creating growth in your business, or whether that is moving through a health condition. So when I initially discovered mindset work, I went to a Tony Robbins event when I was, on my way out of my burnout, and I've been doing a lot of the physical healthcare, health things. And I knew that there was another layer for me to tackle and address my health issues. And, that was really the thing that became the beginning of the end of me being in that phase of burnout and fully recovering my energy and my health, which was being strongly focused on and strongly affirming what it is that I desire day after day after day after day, despite evidence appearing to the contrary, despite, still having fatigue, despite still, having anxiety and depression, despite still struggling with my productivity. So I knew that when, long COVID came around for me this time, I was I know how to create good health. I know I've been here before and I've pulled myself out of it. And this is a skill that I built in that initial stage of recovery, and really, breaking down how to use mindset to transform a situation, which, after discovering that, I then went on to apply to money and created 6 figures in my business, and, have continued to apply this over and over and over to create new results and, get out of shitty situations. So I'm going to share this story with you, and I want you I invite you to just add this to the evidence bank, right? Like, I'm not special, you know, I've supported clients to do the same thing. I'm not like a magical healer. Well, in fact, I am, and like we all are. And this is how this gets to come about. This is how we get to shift our energy to create transformation, to create results that we desire in short periods of time. And we get to apply this not only to our health and our own energy management, but also to our money and our ability to create money in the ways that we desire. So the mindset that has been moving me through, like obviously getting the diagnosis that it was long COVID, like that, I initially obviously was like disappointed and had a meltdown and had a cry about it. But then I was able to see this as a win. Like, this was a result, right? Once I know what I'm dealing with, then I have more data to be able to find solutions, to be able to move through it. And once I knew that this could, you know, this wasn't just me taking a long time to get over a cold, this was me dealing with a potentially long-term health situation. I like know the protocol. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I just get to revisit this focus in my mindset work and start to affirm, like, I'm only available for amazing health. Like, I have deep rest. My energy is vibrant and balanced every day. I feel good in my body. I take excellent care of my health. And, you know, some of the specifics that maybe were like habits that I needed to lean into more. Like, I'm really good at going to bed early. Like, I'm really good at having like screen-free time at the end of the day, you know, affirming the things that I know it's going to take some intentional focus around, of the things that I know to do that are going to increase my energy levels and really support myself at the highest level possible and support my body to move through this. So that's what happens. Like, I add that to my daily mindset affirmation recording that I listen to every day, and I'm you know, I create new ones regularly to continue to add the focuses on the things that I am choosing to create, that I desire to create. And then I take action on the things that is within my capability to take. Like, I do my best, right? Like, I show up fully for myself. I've been just like really prioritizing good sleep. And this has always been the case for any type of energy management or like health or emotional health situation. It's like, just support the body. It's very simple. The things that support the body are excellent sleep, excellent nutrition, consistent nutrition, and supplementation, and like movement and breath work and time in nature, and like minimal technology and screen time, like reducing that and just having good boundaries around those things and just making an improvement, right? It's like wherever it is, just improve it and then improve it again and then make a slightly better choice and just continue to make those small tweaks and improvements. And, you know, navigate boundaries, communicate my needs to the people around me, be really clear on the ways that I'm showing up for and taking care of myself, and communicating that and upholding that. So I know that that can like also be a lot, right? It can be a lot to navigate emotionally, both internally and in our relationships. But there's always a 2% improvement that we can make each day, and it really does make a difference. So I do that. Like, I'm like, what is it within my power to show up to be able to improve my situation around this? And, you know, and I'm going to translate this conversation to over money after this. Because when I move and when I affirm and when I stay focused, I'm not in like a story, you know, even though obviously I have frustrations, obviously I've experienced moments of anxiety in, you know, taking these movements, like investing money and supplements, and like, I'm not saying this is like without challenge and I'm just like, I am a superhero that's heading towards amazing health, but choosing to really embody that and to be focused has created so much calm for me and has allowed me the energy and the focus to take the actions that do have an immediate, you know, an immediate benefit. And then once that momentum starts going, that's when the miracles start showing up. Like, a conversation with somebody, you know, turns into a reference for like a supplement regime. A conversation with another friend turns into a recommendation for, you know, like an Ayurvedic person who's giving free consultations, who might be able to help me. And like the, you know, all of the resources and the solutions and the answers start to show up very, very rapidly. And this is the power of focus. And this is what I mean by mindset. It's simply focus. It's not like, oh, you have the right affirmations or you have the wrong affirmations, or, oh, you're like doing the perfect morning ritual or you're not, or you have the perfect energy or you don't. It's really down to focus. Like, what are you focused on? What are you moving towards? What is the direction that you're pointed in? And do your actions back that focus? Do your actions back that desire? Are you doing your best, right? Are you doing the best that you can today? Without judging yourself, without being in a story around it's not working, without being like, oh, woe is me, I'm never gonna get there, and like being in a negative headspace around it, but really choosing, like, I'm focused on what I want. I'm doing my best to move towards what I want. I'm definitely not perfect in it, and I definitely have better days and worse days, but I don't make it mean, like, I'm not in any type of a story that this is going to continue to be a problem for me for a long time. And I'm also unattached to how long it will take. I'm just surrendered to what I focus on, I will create. And if I can take care of myself today, if I can do my best today, and like have as much of a good time today, because this is my life is happening now, and I'm not going to ruin my life by choosing to focus on things that make me miserable, then it's all good. So let's translate this mindset over to consistent money. Like, this is consistent energy, right? Anytime we don't feel good, anytime we're burnt out, anytime we're like particularly like emotionally unstable or triggered around something, or like wrapped up in anxiety around something, it's like, what are we focused on? Bring the focus back, and then adjust the boundaries to support living as close to that vision as possible now today, with whatever power we have now today. And that's going to very quickly create massive momentum, to the point where, you know, like, I'm capable to show up and have my day, and I just, you know, maybe don't have as much energy left in the evening. And I've just been, you know, keeping it chill at weekends, but I'm not making it mean like, oh, I can't go and like do a big weekend away or like do trips. I'm like, no, like, what feels good to me is what feels good to me. Like, I want to feel good. So I'm just going to make the choices that make me feel good, and like do local adventures, spend lots of time in nature. I'm reading a lot of books and just like relaxing and enjoying taking care of myself, and not seeing it as like a disaster, which, you know, I definitely would have reacted in that way in the past. Before we get back to the episode, I have something exciting to tell you about. There were a couple of key things that changed everything in my life as an entrepreneur that allowed me to bring in 6 figures while working half as many hours and having more fun than ever before in my business. It was money mindset work around how I was doing business, combined with getting good at sharing strategic sales content online. I know you know that this is your year to start hitting your 10K month income goal and living the life of creative freedom and fulfillment you have been dreaming about. You're ready to be consistently attracting total dream soulmate clients through the creative content you're sharing on social media, and you want to be reaching more people, charging higher rates, and working much less. So I'm very excited to invite you to join me in Freedom Club, my mastermind, where you'll receive tailored high-level support to master the skills that will create your dream life and 6-figure dream business starting now. With focused weekly trainings and coaching calls to find the clarity on your content that's going to make you the most money, to design a simple, fun launch strategy you'll enjoy following through on, plus daily support and feedback from me in the Voxer chat, you'll find that sweet spot in your business where you're the most confident in your work, having the most fun, and making the most money. Go to withsarahmac.com/freedom club to apply now. Now let's get back to the episode. So let's translate this conversation to money. It's the same thing, right? It's like, what are you focused on? Are you focused on what you want? And are you taking the actions that are within your power to the best of your ability today, and creating momentum around that? And I think something that's important to point out when it comes to work and when it comes to money, you know, I see this in my clients all the time. It happens for me still, where it's like, when you set a bigger goal and you're like, okay, I'm like stretching, or this feels like a stretch for me to go for this amount, or to go for this new thing that I haven't created before. It's like the perfectionism kicks in, and suddenly you're like, I must work really hard. I must push myself if I'm going to create something different that I haven't created before. I'm going to create something bigger, or I'm going to create something new. It's like this mechanism kicks in where it's like, must be perfect, must work harder, must go all in. And I just want to like take a moment to challenge that pattern and to challenge that thinking. Because, you know, even throughout long COVID, like I've had one of my best months of the year last month. And it just goes to show in business, it's about intentionality, it's about strategy, and it's about boundaries. And our business always gets to support our life, no matter the shit show that is going on in life, because life is going to bring you things to navigate. It's going to bring family drama. It's going to bring health challenges. It's going to bring unexpected things that you have to deal with. Like I've also been dealing with a sick cat this entire time who's like on the verge of dying with this like reoccurring urinary tract infection, going to the vets, like dropping loads of money on medication every weekend, and like monitoring his pee and thinking like, you know, it's literally one of those situations where it's like, if he doesn't pee for 24 hours, he could be dead. Like it's been stressful. There's been a lot of other life stuff going on. So what that has required from me and my business is, okay, I get to be bare minimum and like extra intentional and really just like trim the fat. Like nothing that doesn't move the needle and create consistency and create money and serve my clients, like everything gets to go, other than the things that really fuel me and that are supporting me. Like money is self-care. Creating consistent money is self-care, because it's stressful when that isn't there. So that gets to be a priority, just like eating food gets to be a priority every day, just like sleeping gets to be a priority every day. Making money gets to be a priority, and it doesn't have to take loads of time. And I've obviously set my business up in a way that the ways I make money are actually highly energizing for me, and they're supportive to me, and I enjoy them. They also have set my schedule up where I have a lot of flexibility. So if I need to rest, then I rest. But I'm at that point now where I know how to manage my energy. I know how to manage my priorities so that I'm maintaining a standard of life that I'm not available for anything less than that. And I know my bandwidth. So when those other, you know, life stuff happens, yes, that's going to take up more of my bandwidth, but I'm really clear on how I can manage that and how I can grow my bandwidth and how I can clear space in my bandwidth to take on those things without it throwing off my money, throwing off my clients, throwing off my momentum and my overall level of well-being, even if that, you know, it takes a dip from time to time. And this is really, really, really important. The mindset is my business gets to support me through every single phase of life, because you can't just, you know, use life or family drama as an excuse. And I've definitely fallen into that in the past. And I've seen many, many clients do that. And I do think that that's something that happens for women particularly easily. It's that self-abandonment that, oh, when like other people need me, or like other people are having a drama, or, you know, then I abandon myself, and then my cup is empty, and then I don't have anything left to take care of the self-care things that take care of me. And that's just like a cultural pattern that that we're undoing when we prioritize self-care, when we have really good boundaries, when we communicate our needs, number one to ourselves, but then also to everybody else around us. And we become non-negotiable for upholding those. You know, particularly when it comes to day-to-day things that are impacted by other people in your life, like food, or like lifestyle choices, or types of conversations, things that, you know, really do have a day-to-day impact on your energy levels and on your well-being in a culture that's generally set up. You know, I live in New York. It's like toxic workplace capital of the world. It's, you know, navigating the food scene here is like pretty intense in locating, you know, dietary choices within the budget that you desire to spend, within the geographical area that you're in at that time. So it takes, you know, some like planning, and it takes some very clear boundaries. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share, is that allow the things know the things that are the bare minimum things that maintain a level of health and self-care and well-being, both in your personal life and in your business and in your money. Like, know what those things are. That when they are the bare minimum commitment, you can cancel the rest of your day if you need to, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be sustaining that momentum. This is like really, really important. And to also recognize when the things that are the bare minimum, you're actually making them harder than they need to be, or you're actually investing more time and energy than is needed because of that like perfectionist mentality, or because of that like try hard mentality, or that like just unconscious impulse to push when we feel like we're going for something bigger. So really monitor that. Like, your content doesn't need to take more than half an hour, your sales content. You know, if you have like loads and loads of clients, maybe your pricing needs to be something that you look at, or maybe offering more scalable ways to work with people so that when you show up, you're serving more people with your time and energy versus having tons and tons of calls on your calendar. Like, these are strategic business decisions that you get to look at by reflecting on like, how do I feel in my business? How do I feel in my business when I'm feeling good and I have really good energy? And how do I feel in my business when, you know, life has thrown me a curveball and I'm low energy and I'm low on my resources and I'm in a period of like having to scale back and really rebuild and really take care of myself and really tighten my boundaries? Because your business should be resilient to the times when there's life stuff going on, because nobody is ever going to have a perfect life. And this was a big learning curve for me in my business, because I used to allow it. Like, I used to be like, oh, if I'm sick or if I'm, you know, something wild is going on and I'm struggling to deal with, I would allow that to be an excuse as to why I wasn't making as much money. And then I had a breakthrough where I was like, oh, no, like, that doesn't have to happen. My business gets to support me in every single phase. And all that means is I take different decisions and I take different actions. It doesn't mean I push through in spite of not feeling good. It means I scale back, but I take strategic decisions that allow me to continue to make money and continue to be supported by my business, and be supported in the way that I have the time and the space and the bandwidth to take care of myself as like the most important, valuable asset of my business. Because if I'm not working, then my business isn't gonna work that much longer. So focus on the money that you want. Decide that it gets to happen, and notice what mindsets or stories are there around why it didn't happen for you last month, or why it didn't happen for you this month, or what life stuff came up that meant that that became difficult for you. And look at those stories and then rewrite them. What do you wish was true? If you could hit the magic button and paint your ideal reality, like, obviously we would love to paint the ideal reality that life was perfect all the time, but we're going to acknowledge that that isn't real. That's not real. So what do we have power over? My power, like the power that I have available to me at all times is, no matter what life brings my way, I'm good. No matter what life brings my way, I can navigate it. I can take care of my energy. I can enjoy my day. I can still continue to thrive in my business. I can, you know, still deliver massive value through my work. I can take strategic decisions that allow me to show up with the energy that I have, and allow me to rest and restore and rejuvenate and take care of my health, take care of my family, take care of life situations. I have the bandwidth for all of it without burning out. I am capable. I have the capacity for all of my desires. This is the expansive mindset that when we focus on it, like, things come to us, things show up, and we see opportunities and we take opportunities and we access a flow where, if we were in the mindset of like, this is hard, I'm struggling, I have to push, I have to do better, I have to go bigger, I have to work harder, I have to sacrifice, this sucks. Like, when we're in that mentality, that's the reality that we create, and that's the result that we create, or we miss on the opportunity to create when we get into that. So I want to round off this conversation with it's an identity conversation. Like, this is who I am. Like, I'm still editing my book. I'm not working on it as consistently as I had been, but I'm still working on it because that actually nourishes me. Like, I'm still giving, I'm not just like lying in bed. I know that when I give myself the things that's in alignment with who I am and where I'm going, that I access more flow and I access more energy, and I create the energy by choosing the things that bring me joy. I'm playing music every day. I'm spending more time outside in the park every day, and I'm selling, and I'm creating content, and I'm serving my clients within the boundaries that I've set up to serve them. So this is my identity. This is who I am. Like, this is who I am, no matter the phase of life. I am an entrepreneur. I am a creator. I am a writer. I am a mentor. And this is the way that I live. So recognizing that whatever it is that you desire, the money that you desire, the business that you desire, this is who you are. This is your identity. And the way that you get to do it gets to work in whatever phase of life that you're in. So stop negotiating on the activities and the actions that you know are in alignment for you to be taking, and find the way to take them that feels good to you. This is my invitation from this conversation, because we all know that sometimes not taking the action creates so much more resistance that actually feels worse than just taking a small action in the direction of our vision and our desires and where we're going in life. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I hope this has given you lots of tidbits for really taking your power back over your energy management, your vision, your desires, your business, your money, your client work. It all gets to work for you no matter what phase you're in. And it all comes down to mindset and your choice in what you are focusing on day to day to day to day. So I have a very exciting special opportunity to work together next week. I'm actually launching a week-long group Voxer where I'm going to be diving into sharing 3 shifts that come up again and again and again when I'm working with clients that really hold people back from making money with their sales content. So I'm gonna teach you these very specific like copy shifts, ways that you can start to rephrase things in certain aspects of your sales content. I'm also gonna share with you why you do it. What is the mindset that drives people to making these mistakes, so that you know to put that like understanding and that belief system in place so that you're creating more powerful content that's translating into sales. I'm super excited for this, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to also be supporting you to actually integrate that into your copy, because I can tell a lot by the way that you're writing in your sales pitches. So send me a DM or come and check me out on Facebook or Instagram, or get on my email list if you want the link to join. I'll also put it in the comments. And yeah, lots of exciting things coming up. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening, and please share what you're going through, share your questions, participate in the conversation, and please share this with anybody you know who will benefit from this content. And have an amazing rest of your day. Sending you so much love. Bye. For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com, and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing.